basic function in Excel. So before we start, I'd like to define what function is and also tell us some basic elements in Excel functions that we need to know and the syntax, the Excel syntax when you're writing your functions. So let me quickly define Excel function. Excel function is a predefined formula that performs a certain task and calculation using specific value in a particular order. And Excel functions are some specific way whereby they are being written, which we call syntax. And when it comes to Excel functions, the first thing that comes first is your equal sign. Your equal sign is the first thing that comes first when you're writing your Excel functions, followed by the function name. Either you're using sum, either you're using count, either you're using apps, either you're using replace, and then followed by your argument. So followed by your argument, you can have one or more than one argument, an Excel function. So what is argument? Arguments can refer to both individual cells and cell ranges and must be enclosed within parentheses. You can have more than one argument or multiple arguments depending on the syntax required for the function. So if you check here, you check the way Excel function is being written. So you'll see equals to followed by the function name, which is sum, and it is now followed by the argument. So notice one thing, arguments are always in parentheses. So parentheses as in bracket. So they are always in parentheses. And take note of something when you are writing your functions. When you are referring to a test, maybe you have like a test, always ensure that the test is written in quotation. Let me give you an example. Let's assume I want to do something like this. You could replace into then. Maybe I want to replace this name, John, comma, then 1, comma, and 4. Then I want to replace it with, I want to replace John with maybe another name like Caleb. Now you notice one thing here in my formula bar. If you check the argument, you notice one thing was different. When I'm referring to Caleb, Caleb was in quotation. So that is the better way, or that is the syntax acceptable in Excel. That is the right way to write if you're referring to a test or if you're imputing a test in Excel. So if you check, now Caleb has been written. So if you check, now John has been replaced here, Caleb has been written. Let's quickly talk about mathematics operator in Excel. Excel supports various mathematical operators that helps users to perform basic arithmetic and advanced calculation. Calculations like addition, subtractions, multiplication, division, exponentiation, percentage. Now, in Excel, we have our way of writing each of these operators. Now, if you're referring to plus, which is addition, you use the normal way it is being written in mathematics. plus, you use your plus sign. Then when it comes to minus, that is subtraction, you use your minus. Then when it comes to multiplication, use asterisk, which represents uh, multiplication. When you use division, you use your slash, which represents division. So now what is addition? Addition has two or more values together, while subtraction subtract one value from another. Multiplication multiplies value. Division divides one value by another. Exponentiation raises number to a power of another. So you can see some of the examples. I will still be writing more examples. And when it comes to percentage converts numbers to a percentage. So let's quickly look at it. So when it comes to multiplication, let's say I want to multiply equals to, I'll start by my normal syntax. Always remember, before you write any function or any formula, always put equals to first. That is the correct syntax in Excel. So let's say I want to say 50 plus 50, right? Then you see it's giving me 100. So then, or 50 minus 20, which is 30, or let's say 50 raised to power or multiplication multiplied by 20, then 1000. So let's do 50 divided by 20, 2.5. Then 50 raised to power 20. You can see, let's just use a simple number, raised to power 2, then 2500. Then let's do something about percentage. Now there are ways by which you can do percentage, right? Let's say you want to get 10% of 1000. 10% of 1000. Then you do multiply by 0.1. 0.1 is 10%, right? 0.1 is 10%. So 10% of 1000 is 100. That is that about arithmetic operator in Excel.